Okay, so we're going to talk about 4 basic steps to deliver or close gap or mirror gap or take off lines. 4 basic steps that we use as an MMA fighter or as a street fighter, even street application type stuff. That's a little bit different than a lot of the boxing, but a lot of the boxing steps are still applicable to it. Basically, you've got what you call your lunge step. And a lunge step is you're just taking whatever foot is going to go in that's directing the direction that you're going to go, and you lunge. So you could be doing a lunge step to the side, or if you're going to go to the left side because you're going left, you go with the left foot first, you lunge over. If you're going backwards, you lunge with the rear foot. Those are lunge steps. And of course, lunge steps are great because they're just real quick and they get you from one point to the next point while you're throwing your techniques. The downsides to lunge steps is they have a start and a stop point. Typically, if I'm going to run through somebody, a lunge step is a difficult way to start it, as opposed to maybe a couple of the other options that are available. So lunge steps are great for like jabs, or if I want to come in and do a cross combo, do something. Lunge steps are great for those kind of purposes. Lunge steps are difficult though if you're going to try and include a kick in there, because typically if I lunge forward, I've got a little bit of weight transfer on this front leg usually, and so now I have to make an adjustment in order to get a kick off. And that's where steps like shuffle steps and switch steps come in more useful when it comes to kicking. You can do lunging rear steps, where you lunge back, and now I basically put myself in almost like a cat stance, or a position where I've got more weight transferred now onto this rear foot, and now I can throw that counter. So like if you're doing counter side kicks or counter round kicks, or counter front kicks, whatever, and you want to do a rear lunge step, so you rear back, now you've got that leg ready to go. So you've taken and moved yourself off of the opponent, adjusted to maybe their pressure, but at the same time, while you made that movement or that adjustment, you set yourself up to be able to throw that kick and camouflage your intentions. Then you've got what they call the shuffle step. And basically a shuffle step is nothing more than a shuffle. You've taken your rear foot and moving it forward, and then coming in with the front foot. It's a shuffle. You can do shuffle steps sideways, you can do shuffle steps forward, you can do them backwards. The thing that you want to be careful of, and a lot of styles teach it this way, and I don't know why, but if I'm trying to go forward on a shuffle, a lot of people teach you to take this rear foot and bring it to your lead foot. Well, if you think about energy as purity, I'm taking energy, and my first step is sending energy here, this way. I want to go this way. So if I go over here, now I got to go forward. So it's like breaking down my energy or my flow this way and then this way. If you're going to use shuffle steps, all you really need to do is shuffle and keep the same gap as you've got between your legs this way. You don't want to have one leg come over. When you do shuffles, the whole key behind making them work is not giving them away. So you don't want to do this. You don't want to rise up, because he sees that. It's telegraphing. You know, you want to keep your height about the same. You want to keep your bend in your knees about the same. And you want that step to be just kind of nice and fluid. So when that shuffle step happens, it comes up to a place, and you can either go deep into a shuffle or you can go shallow in the shuffle. All depends on how far you want to move. Will depend on how far you put this rear foot. But when you move this foot, try to keep the gap the same. Try to keep the bend in the knees the same. Try to keep your height elevation the same, so that it's not so telegraphic. And then you step through. The nice thing about shuffle steps are you can make contact in between the shuffle. So from here, I can take this first step and I can hit them off of the shuffle. So I don't have to, like on a lunge step, come to a stop and then engage to throw the kick. I can do sweeps from here off these shuffles. You can come in and sweep and work the shuffle that way. or you can come in off the shuffle and throw your kicks and work your combinations that way. Shuffle steps are great for those reasons. Next would be, and shuffle steps also work really good for throws. So if you're trying to come in and hit a guy, say with the jab off the shuffle here, and then as I step through and I hit him with this right follow-up, I'm now in a position where I can go right into a good throw maybe. Then you've got your blitzing steps, or your step throughs. And they're nothing more than just basically here and literally just stepping through and attacking. Blitzing steps are great because they get you from one point to the next point as fast as possible. So instead of me trying to go stop and start on that lunge step, or me taking a shuffle step and still coming to a stop, on a blitzing step, I'm literally just going and I'm not stopping. I'm attacking full out with a lot of pressure. Then you've got the last basic step, which is your switch steps. And a lot of guys do that, especially like in Muay Thai and stuff, where they switch and then they go. And switch steps are great for like breaking a person's timing, or maybe you want to hit this side of the leg. You want to throw a leg kick here on this side, but you don't like the power you get from just that step up lead leg. So you might elect to go switch and then boom, make it a rear kick. So that's one example of how you would utilize a switch step. Anyway, those are the 4 basic steps that people are using for their attacks, for closing gap, for mirroring gap, or for using to get off lines. Hopefully that helps.